Greetings from Human Biological Institute. Welcome to yet another engaging session of our scientific forum, Immunize with Pride. At Human Biological Institute, HBI, a division of Indian Immunologicals Limited, we take great pride in driving public health awareness through our unique initiative, Immunize with Pride, dedicated to educating people about vaccine preventable diseases and the importance of timely vaccination. This platform offers accurate, expert based information on immunization across all life stages, from infancy to adulthood, emphasizing that vaccination protects not just individuals but entire communities. Our sessions feature leading health experts who share valuable insights to promote awareness and strengthen community well being. We also bring you the Immunization Conclave, a platform that unites experts to discuss vaccines, preventive health, and the power of accurate information in building a healthier society. Today, we are delighted to have Dr. Sushrut Das from Bhubaneswar and Dr. Animesh Gandhi from Rajnandangaon with us to share their expert perspective on a very interesting topic, why vaccination matters at every stage of life. I shall be sharing more about our expert speaker today, and we will be discussing on this topic. But for the moment, please allow me to share a brief introduction of Human Biological Institute. Human Biological Institute is a division of Indian Immunologicals Limited, which is a One Health company. IL was established by the National Dairy Development Board (NDDB) in the year 1982 as its unit, and later registered as a company in 1999 with the name Indian Immunologicals Limited. HBI was established in the year 1998 when the Government of India requested IL to produce a modern tissue culture anti-rabies vaccine to phase out the unsafe nerve tissue vaccine. The first manufacturing facility of HBI was established at Ooty. The facility is one of its kind in India to have rolled out the first varicella culture rabies vaccine in the year 2000. Subsequently, HBI launched various other vaccines, and today HBI is a leader in anti-rabies vaccine segment and is present in around 60 countries. With the vision of shaping global healthcare by spearheading One Health initiative, with the mission to innovate, produce, and market quality healthcare products and services to improve and extend lives, we believe in providing affordable products with high quality through continuous technical innovations and improvements to meet our customers' needs. IL has several corporate social responsibility projects. In one such project, IL has adopted two government schools in the vicinity of Patla facility, which is at Hyderabad, Telangana. It provides all the necessary infrastructure and basic facility, including the midday meal program to the children. With the help of Gift a Meal program in coordination with NDDB, IL is reaching out to over 2,500 school-going children in Tamil Nadu and Telangana distributing everyday milk. IL has also donated oxygen generation plant to TIMS, Gachibowli. To know more about the corporate or organization, you can visit www.indimmune.com or follow us in the social media channels. Now, Immunize with Pride, an initiative of Human Biological Institute, is a trusted platform that empowers individuals and families to make informed vaccination decisions at every stage of life. Through expert insights and meaningful discussions, it aims to dispel myths, address public concerns, and strengthen immunity at our community. As a part of this endeavor, we are pleased to have Dr. Sushrut Das from Bhubaneswar and Dr. Animesh Gandhi from Rajnandangaon with us to discuss why vaccination matters at every stage of life. Because protection isn't just for childhood, it's a lifelong commitment to good health. It's my privilege to introduce our panelists. We are pleased to welcome Dr. Animesh Gandhi. A dedicated pediatrician and neonatologist with over 8 years of clinical experience. Dr. Animesh Gandhi completed his MBBS and MD in pediatrics from Raipur Medical College, earning gold medals during both graduation and post-graduation. He has a fellowship of the National Neonatology Forum. Dr. Animesh Gandhi also received a state-level gold medal for his paper presentation in pediatrics. He currently serves as the secretary of IMA Rajnandangaon and is active member of IAP Rajnandangao branch. Welcome, Dr. Animes. We are honored to have you with us today. We are very much honored to have Dr. Susrut Das with us today. So Dr. Sushrut Das is a senior pediatrician and FIP awardee with over 20 years of private practice at Balyasri Clinic, Bhubaneswar. Dr. Sushrut Das is the founder and the director of Early Childhood Development Center, Sambhav, and a certified ICP certificate in behavior and autism disorders. Dr. Sushrut Das has been a central EB member for year 2022, East Zone EB member ID chapter under founder secretary of IAP Bhubaneswar. A master trainer in vaccinology and infectious disease, he is the recipient of the FIAP 2024 and Sishu Pioneer 2015 awards. Welcome, Dr. Sushrut Das. It's a privilege to have you with us today. Now, uh, I invite you to the forum.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Namaste.
Hi.
Namaste.
So
Good evening.
it's truly a pleasure to have you all with us.
So thank you, Dr.
Thanks for
Sushrut and
inviting me.
Dr. Sushrut and Dr. Animesh for joining us today as we talk about a very relevant and timely topic: why and how vaccination matters at every stage of life. In today's world, where preventive healthcare is gaining importance, understanding how vaccination plays a role in protecting us at every stage of life is crucial. Let's begin our discussion. So, the foundation of for a foundation of a healthy life begins at early childhood, and vaccination plays a key role in building it. So, my question to Dr. Susrut will be: why are the first few years of life considered the most important for vaccination?
So, good evening to all the viewers, and thanks Indian Immunological for this noble initiative. Definitely, vaccinology and vaccines are a part and parcel of every pediatrician's practice. But when it comes to parents, they should also understand that when a baby is born, basically the baby is not exposed to any kind of infection. So when a human baby is born, basically there are two things that protect the baby from different kind of infection. One part of that immunity is called innate immunity. One is called acquired immunity. So what we mean by innate immunity is the immunity that as a human being we have genetically imprinted in our body at the time of birth. So for example, that innate immunity of a human being will protect the human being against a plant virus or a plant bacteria or an animal bacteria or an animal virus. So that is how that innate immunity is the immunity we are born with. That also includes our saliva, our skin, our hair, our nails. So everything is covered, and that protects the body from different type of invading organisms. But that is not enough. So when we acquire infection, when we are exposed, even during the birth, the child is exposed to different bacteria, different viruses, which are called pathogens. When we are exposed to the pathogens, what happens? Our body has to generate some chemical which are called antibody to fight against different viruses and bacteria. But whether that antibody generated is protective, not protective, we don't know. So that's why we take vaccines, which actually acts like a trigger to initiate this mechanism of a artificial infection, and by that we also develop some kind of immunity, which is called acquired immunity by vaccines or a passive immunity. So that's why vaccines are very important, because when they are injected, it has minimal side effect, but it mimics one infection and generates antibody which will be there to protect the child throughout the life for different kind of infection.
Uh,
This
so,
is in
uh,
short
yeah.
how vaccination works.
So, doctor, as you said that innate, I mean the innate immunity we get it, and something called acquired immunity or something called inherited immunity we get it from our parents or from the mother. So, my question to Doctor Rimesh will be there, Doctor. When we get the immunity from our maybe the maternal immunity, why there is a window period of this immunity? Why it is very short, and does this immunity protect for a longer period of time?
Yeah, hi. So a basic difference between innate immunity and acquired immunity is that in innate immunity you just get immunoglobulins. So when you get immunoglobulins from mother, that will have a half-life time that will vanish off by a few weeks of life. So after that, again your defense system book is empty. So you need to get new exposures with the new antigens so that you learn and you make layers of immunity for that. So the main stream of immunity for lifelong memory is acquired immunity that you will get from vaccines only.
Okay. So I mean the immunity which we get it from the maternal immunity, it's lost for a shorter period of duration of time, and that's why the
Definitely.
child is exposed to various kind of infection. So doctor,
Yes.
regarding that, how do vaccine help protect infants and from this serious and life threatening infections? How
Yeah,
they
hi.
this? Yeah.
Just just understand this like when you start scribing YouTube for initial days you search for some things. After that YouTube will learn what you want from him. So it will suggest you only those videos which you want to see. So like that our newborns comes with an empty defense book. So whenever you get different vaccinations, different antigens, that will create a layer of immunity, and that's how your immune system creates a memory for that particular organism, and that's how vaccine works, and that will save you from a life-threatening and devastating infections. Like before, if you think of before vaccination era, we have huge wars. So after wars we have a wars against this infections also. We have fought with talwars and bhalas and all, but after that when we have a crowded place we had huge massacre from plague, we had lots of typhoids, we have so many diseases that have created worse scenarios than this physical wars. So after this vaccination era, we are very secured. And I must say, I always say this, vaccination is one of the simplest way of your insurance. So that is the best insurance you can give to yourself.
Okay. I think it's as you said, it becomes a very cost-effective tool compared to fighting with the disease and going getting hospitalized. And by that way, again, you are exposed to various infections, and there is a huge chance of your. I mean, so it becomes a life threat. Now, coming to the next discussion, like there is a schedule of vaccination, right, for the babies. As you said, there is a window period of vaccination where a child is born and is taken through vaccination for 1 year, 1.5 year, or 2 years. So, what happens if a baby misses one or more vaccines in the early schedule? So, Dr. Sushruth, could you please enlighten on this?
It is very important because the vaccination schedules are the result of a huge amount of research. So it has been researched that say the child is 1.5 months old, the child require one DPT first dose, then hepatitis B dose, then Hib or Haemophilus influenzae dose. So those are all already calculated, and it is the safe. It is always safe, and the right amount of immunity will be generated if the child takes the vaccine exactly at 6 weeks, and we have a window period of 15 days. So even if the child is taking the vaccine within 15 days of the scheduled date, that is okay, within 2 weeks. But what happens many a times because of some logistic, especially what happened during COVID, that many people didn't have the access to vaccination centers, vaccines, and many of the hospitals were under lockdown. So that's why many people lost the opportunity of getting the vaccine at the right time. But still, it is never late. Whenever you realize that you have missed a vaccine, parents should always take the child to a pediatric practitioner or a vaccinator and consult them so that that vaccine can be given. That kind of schedule, we call it a catch up schedule. So if somebody has missed the due date, it can always be given, even if the immunity may not be 100%, but still it will we will try to match the immunity if the child has taken the vaccine at the right time.
So, doctor, how long that catch-up vaccination can happen? Suppose a child is born today, and the 1 year vaccination schedule they have missed, and all of a sudden the parents realize that my ninth year, when the or 10th year, the child comes, or 15th year they say that no, no, I have missed the vaccination. So what kind of vaccination you advise and how you change the vaccine schedule?
There is a catch-up vaccination schedule. Many of the vaccines can be given lifelong. Suppose somebody has missed a flu vaccine, it can be given throughout the life. Somebody has not taken a hepatitis B vaccine, it can be given throughout the life. Hepatitis A, typhoid vaccine, most of the vaccines can be given throughout the life. There is no age restriction. But for certain vaccines like polio, DPT, we have certain age restriction. So if the child has missed the vaccine very recently, it is not a problem. Most of the vaccines can be taken. But if the missed period is like years together, then we have to rethink what are the priority vaccine we can give at that age. That has to be given first. Then, if any lost vaccine which is under that age category can be given, like somebody has passed 5 years for the pneumococcal vaccine. In India, pneumococcal vaccine is not advisable above 5. Somebody has not taken a IPV or an injectable polio vaccine. Again, after 5 years, there is no point in taking an injectable polio vaccine. So those things will be considered by a pediatrician while vaccinating, and we will have to fix up a catch-up schedule for every child who has lost the opportunity of getting the vaccine at the right time.
So for viewers and the parents, we just definitely let us take a point out. Dr. Sushut said. So if your child has missed the vaccination, it is always best to go to your nearest pediatrician, qualified practitioner who can definitely help you with a guideline or chart out a schedule for the vaccines, which is definitely going to help for your child. Now, Dr. Animesh, there are certain vaccines like DPT, MMR, and polio. Uh, that's known for giving lifelong immunity for the children. So, how this kind of vaccines give lifelong immunity?
Yeah, hi. So this of vaccination, which are included in National Immunization Schedule also. So DTP will give you immunity against diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus. MMR will protect you against mumps, measles, and rubella. So these are the basic chunk of epidemics we had in yesteryears. But still, you will be surprised to know that Rajnandgaon was proved to be a recent epicenter for mumps. As we all know, in MR, not immunization schedule, we get recently we have many micro epidemics of mumps, and not only even mumps, even we had complications of mumps like aseptic meningitis. So there is a resurgence in incidence of mumps. So whenever a community gets vaccination for this, you can save lots of life and you can save lots of complications also. And my deepest salute to the polio vaccination. So we can define this world as a pre-polio era and post-polio era. We have seen our elder generations with many of the polio cases, and now we are very sure that we will create a generation without polio. We are now more into marathons and we are more into long runs. This is how it is possible with polio vaccines also, only. So this is the magic of vaccination. I must want to emphasize here. So these are a set of basic vaccination which everyone can get. That is a right for everyone to get this vaccination from your nearest vaccination center. It's a free of cost for this, and this will give you a lifelong immunity for the basic infections, which can be devastating, which can be very morbid if otherwise not taken.
Thank you, Dr. Nimesh, for giving such clarity with the definitely the polio vaccine success. It is a big success for every one of us to cherish, and we hope that many other vaccines which are already in the schedule help us in eradicating or eliminating the diseases in future. Dr. Sushruth, there is a misconception that still circulates widely. Many parents think frequent vaccinations may overload the immune system. That means if you give more number of vaccines or shots, it is going to hamper your immune system. Is that true?
No, it is not true. More the merrier. So, vaccine preventable diseases are few. So, all the vaccines that are available against vaccine preventable diseases is a must for the child. I don't agree with the word optional. This is important, this is not. Every disease is important. When it happens, any small disease can also complicate a child's life. So every vaccine is very, very important. What happens, the many vaccines, they have multiple doses. Parents, they have to learn one thing, that vaccines such as take example for DPT.
Yeah.
DPT covers for diphtheria, tetanus and whooping cough, what we call pertussis in medical language. So it is called DPT. It's a trivalent vaccine. So when it comes to a child's life, why we are giving multiple doses of DPT even if it is painful? Because
Yes.
what happens when somebody takes a vaccine, immediately in the blood there is a surge of immunoglobulin, which is called the first response. So after certain period of time, say a 4 week, 5 week, that response comes down and it goes below the protective level. Again you have to take a second dose or a third dose. Even after few years, say 1.5 year and 5 year, you have to take subsequent booster to maintain a antibody level which is protective. That's why we have so many vaccines given to the child during first 1 year of life, then 5 year of life, then 10 year of life. So it is medically and proved by research that even hundreds and thousands of vaccines, even given at one go also, it will never exhaust the immune system. It is not adding up to like one vaccine is causing fever, other vaccine is causing fever. If you give them both together, it is not more fever. It is never like that. So most of the vaccines are can be given together and they are highly safe. And multiple vaccine taken by the baby is absolutely safe. It causes no exhaustion of the immune system, and the immune system is active enough to respond to multiple vaccines.
I think that's a very clear guideline set by Dr. Susruth. I mean, we have the immune system to receive the vaccines and respond accordingly. So that's why it becomes very. Does that mean that, Doctor, the vaccine response is very specific? Suppose if you give DPT vaccine or if you receive a BCG vaccine, if I remember during COVID-19, there was a wide spread that we are protected because yes, we are Indians are vaccinated with BCG. So, is there anything called cross protection of vaccine or works really works?
Yes, yeah, there are certain vaccines which can cross protect because some bacteria, virus, they resemble each other. So when the antibody is there, that may to some extent protect against other infection. But we have to remember that vaccines are very specific. One vaccine which is meant to prevent one disease will prevent that disease. Very common example that we face in our day-to-day practice is influenza vaccine. Basically, the popular flu vaccine or influenza vaccine is active against influenza A and influenza B, which are the pandemic and epidemic or seasonal strains of influenza vaccine. It is not going to save the child from, say, pneumonia or other causes of cold and cough like nasoviruses. So there are, or even against COVID viruses. So that's why vaccines are very specific. They're meant for a disease. We can expect a robust protection against that disease which has been studied with that vaccine. Sometimes some extra protection or a cross protection may exist, but that is not very reliable. So direct protection is always better than a cross protection.
So, some point of time, Dr. Sushruth said that something called catch-up vaccination is there, and we all know that majority of the vaccination happens at the childhood age. But adolescence comes with new exposures, like when an adolescent goes to school or travel and go for social interactions, which make certain vaccines vital. So, in that case, why is adolescence an important phase to receive catch-up vaccination, and what are the key recommendation during this teenage years? Which vaccines are recommended? So, can we enlighten Dr. Animesh, please?
Yeah. With your this question, I want to debunk one myth that we always think vaccination is made for childhood period. So I want to debunk this myth that vaccination is made for every stage of life. So as your child is ready, a teenager now, and is now ready to move through adolescence and adulthood, your teenager is going to some school, some hostel, some overcrowded place. He may be ready for some national games. He may be traveling internationally. He may be ready for new sexual exposure. So this is the age where you want to introduce two or three vaccinations that is important. First is Tdap. As this immunity, your basic fundamental immunity gets fading down through the age, so you should get a Tdap booster to give you immunity against tetanus, diphtheria, pertussis. Against for your all sexual exposure, you must get your wards ready for HPV related infections and cancers, anogenital wards. And another most important vaccination for this age group is meningococcal vaccination. And that is specially designed for all those who are going into new hostels, going for the camps, going for the forest areas, going for the overcrowded places, or going to some endemic zones. And again, after this, flu vaccinations is very, very important for all the seasons. Every year, you should get a flu shot before this season rise up. So this is how you can protect your teenagers to walk through a disease-less adulthood.
Right. So as we know that there are certain vaccines which is exclusively for the children, but as we progress in the various stages of life, whether it's in adolescence, again in adult, or even in geriatric, there are people cases where traveling travelers also. So every stage of life, there are certain vaccines which is designed to reduce the risk of exposure. And thank you, Dr. Nimesh, for taking us through this adolescent vaccination, the recommended guidelines. Now, are there any vaccines which are especially important looking at the lifestyle related risk in the adolescents? Uh, uh, could you please explain, Dr. Sushruth, on this? Anything related
Yes.
with lifestyle and others?
Yes, as Dr. Animis has rightly pointed out, the adolescent is a period of experiments. So they go for higher study. They have to stay, maybe they have to stay in one hostel. So when the child is exposed to a hostel kind of environment, if the child is not vaccinated with chickenpox, and one adolescent with chickenpox can spread the chickenpox in the hostel. So that's why one vaccine which is very important while staying in a hostel is chickenpox or varicella vaccine. Second, the child is exposed to outside food too many times. So, maybe some contamination of water and contamination of food is expected. That's why typhoid is another vaccine which is very important. Again, same kind of infection which can be life-threatening is a hepatitis A or a viral hepatitis. So we should take one hepatitis A vaccine while going for the adolescent while going to stay in a hostel. Then, as the child is more prone for sexual experimentation at that period of time, maybe a first sexual exposure is risky. So we have to take certain vaccines which are in that category, like HPV vaccine or human papilloma vaccine. So that is now gender neutral. All the male and female should take the vaccine as soon as possible within 9 to 15 years. So that will also make them take only 2 doses. After that, it becomes 3 doses. So before 15 years, the child can be vaccinated with 2 doses of HPV. So these are the lifestyle vaccine, especially the varicella vaccine, typhoid vaccine, hepatitis A vaccine, and HPV vaccine. And as Dr. Onimes has also pointed out, there are many outbreaks of influenza during the rainy season and before the winter. So as the season approaches, it is very important to vaccinate all the adolescents with influenza vaccine so that they don't miss out classes, they don't have to drop out from their exams. So these are very, very important vaccine when it comes to academic management of the adolescent also. So these are the
Okay.
important vaccines in my view.
Doctor, if you see a very interesting thing which has happened during COVID, we also learned that when our children got exposed, recuperating from the disease was faster. I mean, they could somehow got the immunity and they could manage that period. But as we progress in our age, like when you move from adolescent and adults, do you feel that certain disease become very serious, and is there in epidemiological set in certain kind of diseases which affects more in adolescent and adult?
Yes, definitely, because what we have observed that if the child is getting a viral infection like a mumps or a varicella or chickenpox during the childhood, early childhood, like below 10 years, it has a very benign course and it goes away within 3 to 4 days and not much of complications. But if the child is older, those viral infections, if the child has not received any vaccines, then definitely those diseases are going to be more serious, like chickenpox or even mumps. They complicate more often, as Dr. Animes has already mentioned. There was a mini mumps outbreak during last year, and lot of the kids has to be, they have to, adolescent, they have to be hospitalized because of the complication. And mumps has a very long complication like diabetes, like infertility in future also. So that we have to be very aware. And secondly, like according to lifestyle, a normal flu for a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old is a school absenteeism for 2 to 3 days. For an adolescent, as the education curriculum is more harder, maybe he is going for an exam which is very important for the future career. If that is missed because of not
Yes.
getting a flu vaccine during the right time, then it becomes more difficult for the adolescent. So those are the situations where the lifestyle and the age group is more prone for the to be affected by the certain diseases.
Dr. Animes, would like to add to it something? I think Dr. Animes, uh, I think we missed him. Okay, so uh, now, Doctor, there are several common myths about vaccination among teenagers. Like, yes, I mean, whether if what should be the diet after a vaccination, or if we take vaccine, probably it will affect us through various other diseases like autism or something. So, could you please? I think Dr. Animes has joined. Dr. Animes, before switching to this question, we'd like to add something on the lifestyle. I mean, any diseases which is becoming, according to your practices, you have seen seeing certain diseases which is evolving to be very severe on the adolescent and adults.
Yes, one is herpes zoster. As my wife is dermatologist, so I'm very frequently seeing that the herpes zoster is coming out, and now we have a vaccination on platform also for the this dreaded complication. And as this secondary metabolic disorders comes to your body, like diabetes, hypertension, this will again invite some of the things to happen. So when you've got chickenpox in early childhood, you will get a herpes in laterhood when your immunity is down. And again, everything in the life is like bell-shaped. So when you start your life, you have zero defense system, and you when you it becomes to end of your life, you are again immunodeficient. So with immunodeficient state, you have a serious pneumonias, you have serious herpes zosters, you have serious flus also. I have seen people losing life from influenza also.
Okay. So I think Dr. Animesh added two more diseases, which is becoming very severe. Even if I would remember, share my experience. Last year, I was exposed to the chicken pox, and my chicken pox was condition was very severe. My parents' chicken pox condition further severe. So that's how the disease has been with us in the adult stage. So I mean,
Another,
we have certain stage of life where we can take vaccination, so we should
yes.
take this vaccine so that in future, as Dr. Sushru said, that it hampers the work and efficiency of this one, and also affects that this spreads to others. So its vaccination is not for a single individual. So here we talk about immunize with pride. So if I'm taking a vaccine for myself, I'm not protecting me, but I'm also protecting others who are surrounding me. So that is very important, which needs to come for all of us. Similarly, we have certain myths. So we'll discuss on that three myths. One is like vaccine causes diseases. Another is vaccine causes autism, and then uh, uh, like, is there any diet related restrictions for vaccinations?
Because my area of expertise is also autism, on this platform, I would like to give a very, very strong message to all the parents and all the viewers that no vaccine can ever cause autism. It has been tried, tested, and again retrialed, and it is absolutely safe. There is nothing to do with autism and vaccine. There is no correlation. If some prominent world leader is even comes and tells that vaccine causes autism, please don't listen to him, because he is not a doctor, not one expert. So I'm not taking any names, but it is very unfortunate that some world leader will create such a confusion among the parents. Vaccine is absolutely safe. When your child gets a vaccine, it has been tried, tested for thousands of people, and before your child also, or your adolescent son or daughter, that vaccine has been given by the same doctor to thousands of people. So vaccine is absolutely safe. Second, regarding food, only if the child is not well, the child is suffering from some kind of serious illness, then maybe vaccine should be postponed for a later date. Otherwise, minor ailments like running nose, sneezing, a mild cold cough, it's not a contraindication of vaccine. Only if there is a fever and the doctor decides that to postpone vaccine, please postpone. Otherwise, always stick to the date of the vaccine. Third myth was vaccine causing disease. Vaccine cannot cause disease. There are certain limited side effects which are controlled, which are already tested and documented. So, inside any vaccine box, there is a leaflet which describes absolutely the normal reaction of a vaccine, which can be a fever, can be a local pain, maybe 1 or 2 days of uneasiness. So, those are absolutely fine, can be managed easily with a simple medicine like paracetamol. Don't worry about the vaccine side effect. Don't worry about the long term bad effect of the vaccine. It cannot happen. Dr. Animes, you can also add a few things if you
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, that I want to add one thing is we have a very methodical procedure of research of vaccination, introducing a vaccination to the community, and then getting a feedback from the community. And as a pediatrician, when we introduce vaccination to parents, we usually give a, side effect profile also. We have something like alternative of vaccines in alternative medicines. We have some Swan Prashan, someone is giving something, some Babas are doing something, and they are ensuring you, okay, I'll protect you from this disease. But the thing is, they will never tell you ki what will be the side effect of this. So once you are out with a big leaflet, when you are giving so much of conditions are coming up with this vaccination, so this will create a doubt and this will create a havoc in the community. And some of the people, as always in India, it's there, half of the education will create everything. So someone will just read out that this vaccine will create a short-term pain. They will correlate it with something. So this is how a butterfly effect comes out. So they will read something, they will communicate it to someone else, and then someone will communicate like this vaccine has created all lot of things.
And one
Right.
most important
So,
thing is that as pediatrician, we are also parents. Even we have vaccinated our kids with the same vaccine. So if it is not safe, then how can pediatrician give their children the same vaccine? So don't worry about vaccine. Don't rely on WhatsApp university news. Vaccines are safe. Vaccine causes no disease. This is the bottom line.
right. So, in fact, I would like to share that autism cases, like if you don't take vaccine, probably will it lead to autism? The other way around.
No, no.
There is no
So
other disease which causes
no, no.
autism.
Rather, autism is a disease of lack of social communication. It is not a
Yes,
structural
you were
defect. It's
related
not
to,
an
yes.
infection. So that we cannot cure autism with vaccine, cannot prevent autism with vaccine. But when the child is not vaccinated, so many infection can happen during the childhood. It can make the child's life miserable. It can cause a lot of medical expenditure. It can land up the child in a ICU also. So those are dreaded complication of not taking a vaccine. Autism has nothing to do with vaccines.
Great. I think we have covered up the childhood vaccination. We've covered the adolescent vaccination. We've covered also the myths about the vaccination. Now, the next phase we are entering into the adult vaccination. Now, coming to the adult vaccination, uh, uh, how adult vaccination is, I mean, positioned, what kind of adult vaccinations we have, which cases, high risk cases, travelers vaccination, and the certain conditions like pregnancy. So, could you please enlighten us, Dr. Animesh?
Yeah. Adult vaccination, as we can differentiate into working professionals. So, for foremost, for professionals like us, like healthcare workers, lab workers, biomedical waste handlers, and everyone which is attached with some hospital or something, hepatitis vaccination is very, very, very important for them. So, because we are in and out, left and right, handling these cases. And for the professionals like travelers, like food handlers, they need to have typhoid vaccination, hepatitis A vaccinations for them. And this frequent influencers who have a very important target periods of their life, like some national, international players or political leaders who need to have critical windows which should not be wasted. So they must have influenza vaccination ready. So they will give you an insurance of 1 year of flawless life. So, and COVID-19 also 10 years, and Tdap vaccination every 10 years, so that any injuries won't harm you much. So these are some categories where health professionals should always remember to have these vaccinations in their card and their body also.
Uh, Now, doctor, certain vaccination which is related to, I mean, the exposure. Like, do you recommend rabies pre-exposure prophylaxis to any adult, or if at all it is recommended, in which cases? Because normally rabies, people know that they have to take the vaccine once they're exposed to a bite or a scratch from an animal. But many people are not aware that there is something called rabies pre-exposure prophylaxis. So could you please let us know about that? Or will you
Sorry, I'm
recommend vaccines?
audible.
Actually,
Yes.
yes, rabies pre. I was coming to it that
Yeah.
one of the lifestyle vaccine or work-related vaccine is definitely a pre-exposure prophylaxis of rabies. Mostly the breeder, those person who are working in a zoo, who are frequently are in contact with canine or with animals with saliva, feeding them, they must take a pre-exposure prophylaxis for rabies, because as we know, rabies is a 100% fatal disease. In a third category 3 bite, even with vaccination and immunoglobulin, there is chances of getting rabies also. That has been proved in the past, recent past also, from the Kerala cases and so many cases. So we should be very, very aware of there is something called a pre-exposure prophylaxis to rabies, which is very, very important for kids and adults who are keeping canine pets like dogs, cats at home. So they should be vaccinated.
Definitely. So, as you said, even if you recommend for the children who are having 15 years of age, right?
Yes.
Yes. Now, uh, Now, when we come to the adult stage of vaccines, so as Dr. Animesh shared, there is something called. Do you recommend HPV in adult vaccination? No, it's not recommended in India, right?
Right now in India, it is recommended up to 45 years. Well, off the label, somebody who is interested can vaccinate himself with a HPV vaccine, but as per the legalities, as per the recommendation, not above 45 years.
So, do you feel that, doctor, vaccinations are important after a certain age, like above 50 or 60 years, once we move to the geriatric age group? If at all, vaccines are required, which vaccines are important, and how it helps the geriatric population?
Definitely above 50 years, two things are there. Even if the person is not suffering from any kind of metabolic disease, as Dr. Animes has already mentioned, that as the age progresses, we are again back to like a neonate. We become more prone for infection. Our immune system becomes weak and weaker, so that many of the invading organisms, they are very commonly infecting elderly adult 50 plus and 60 plus. If the adult is also have comorbidity like obesity, like blood pressure, like cardiac diseases, asthma, or diabetes, it becomes more complicated, because as such they are infection prone, and a simple infection can be catastrophic in this age. So certain vaccines like a influenza vaccine every year is a must. Second is a pneumococcal vaccine. Now there is a single sort of pneumococcal vaccine which covers 20 types of serotype, one dose, lifelong. That is also very important. If the person is advised by doctor, he can also avail typhoid vaccine, hepatitis A vaccine, or a zoster vaccine, as Dr. Animes has already mentioned. These are the adult vaccination which are recommended. So influenza, pneumococcal, uh, zoster, then chickenpox, if not happened in early childhood, hepatitis A, typhoid. These are the common vaccine which should be taken by a elderly person, 50-year plus.
Absolutely, and there is herpes zoster, definitely the singles vaccine, as we have definitely discussed. So now, do you feel that, doctor, this kind of vaccination help in reducing the hospitalization rates and improve the quality of the people? Dr. Nimish,
Not able to listen everything. There's a lot of interruption in my connection.
no
Can
problem.
you?
So just I just
Beg your
we
pardon.
just we were discussing about the adult vaccine. I mean the geriatric population vaccination by people in the geriatric age group. So do you feel that there are the vaccination? There are certain vaccinations which Dr. Sushruta has said already. We have discussed like herpes zoster, influenza, hepatitis A, and pneumococcal. So do you feel that these vaccines have shown that there is a reduction in hospitalization rate and the quality of life has improved? Is there any evidences for this?
Yeah, definitely. This is one magical thing about vaccination. This will not just prolong your life, this will give you a quality of life. So I can bet on pneumococcal vaccination that will reduce your hospitalization rate, that can drastically reduce your cost of hospitalization. Bad pneumonia can cost you a lot. And swine flu again, flu vaccination will save you many things. And shingles also. Shingle is a seen patients with a chronic shingle, they are crying a lot like hell, and they are changing doctors very frequently, and they are there should be some magic of God that will happen, and they'll come out of this. So even I've seen my grandmother, like she was having a shingles on the face, and that time we didn't had shingle vaccination. I've seen her crying for a period of 30 days. She had a diabetic also, but I hope that time we had shingle vaccines.
Now, doctor, as you know, that immunization is a collective effort, and this is to bring a lot of awareness to the community. So there are certain places, certain key people who must play a role in spreading the awareness. So, how do you, according to your views, like what can be done at the school level, what can be done at the parent level, and what can be done at the corporate level, organization level, or the people who are working at various organization? So according to you, how and how they can bring this awareness and help people to vaccinate and protect themselves? Dr. Sushrut, please.
So definitely, as we all pediatrician, we belong to a very strong organization called IAP, or Indian Academy of Pediatric. At our organization level, we always make it a point that we insist on family vaccination. Vaccination is not one individual choice, as Mr. Santosh has already explained so nicely, that it's a collective effort. uh, we as brand ambassador of vaccine, pediatricians should propagate. So even if the child has come for a normal checkup, say cold, cough, whatever, we should always take up a minute to explain that there is something
Yes.
called vaccine. If the child has only taken UIP, which is Universal Immunization Program, offered at the hospital, government hospital level, we should at least take 1 minute to explain that there are certain vaccines which are not covered under UIP, still very important for the child, what the benefit the child is going to get, and burst the myth regarding the vaccine. taking 1 or 2 minutes of our valuable time. Then second line of leader, I would like to mention the school teachers. All the primary school teachers, they should be made aware that there are vaccines which the children are missing. So maybe once in a month or so, that should be a class for the parents, at least few minutes in the parents teacher meeting. This vaccination should be discussed at the school level. That can be a very good strategy. And our government, our leaders, they should not try to spread myth regarding the vaccine. They should also be made aware of the importance of the vaccines, and that way that there can be a motivation towards taking of vaccine. Vaccine cannot be made compulsory, but it is something which is very essential for all, because if majority of the children, majority of the adult are vaccinated, if somebody is not vaccinated for some unfortunate cause, he can also get protected, because we have something called herd immunity or a ring protection. If everybody is around one person is protected, that individual also gets some kind of protection. That is very, very important when it comes to vaccination of the community.
So now, as we have explored vaccination across every age, from infancy to old age, let us close the session with a unifying message to all. Finally, what message would you like to give to families about making vaccination a habit, not just for the children, but for life, for everyone at the family level, whether it is a child, adolescent, or adult, or at pregnancy, or even at the elderly stage, or when the person is traveling. So, Dr. Animesh, your message to the parents.
So first of all, thanks for you to inviting me to this vaccination awareness campaign when you are extending it to different horizons. I would like to say that vaccination is not just a one point event. It's a preparation milestone for your immunity throughout the life. So one thing you can bet on through this science is vaccinations only. So vaccination is not just made for your kids; it's for yourself and it's your for your father, for three generations in your family. So card handy, and always when you come to your family doctor, just get your vaccination schedule updated. And as an adult, when we go for a annual health checkup, you must also have a vaccination schedule upgraded. So this is my take up for you.
Dr. Sushruth, your message uh, to the parents.
To add to what Dr. Nimes has already mentioned, I would like to mention that with at any age, no doubt, sometimes you feel that vaccinations are costly, vaccinations are painful, but we have to remember the disease which the vaccine is preventing is costlier and more painful. So vaccine is always a easy way out and a guarantee for a good life from childhood to adulthood. Thank you. This is my message.
So, to all the audience we hope today's session was informative and valuable in spreading awareness on why and how vaccination matters at every stage of life. Our special thanks to Dr. Sushrut Das from Bhubaneswar and Dr. Animesh Gandhi from Rajnandagaon for sharing their time, expertise, and insight with us today. For those who would like to revisit the program, the video will be available on our official social media sites. Please follow us on our YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and social media channels. Do like, share, spread the word to as many your friends, your family members, your relatives. Reach out to large number of people to make this to aware about vaccines, because it helps us in preventing disease and preventing and helps us in preventing life. Now, until we meet in our next live talk, stay healthy, stay aware, and please do take good care of yourself. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank